Hi, I'm Ash from DroningON. In part 1, we unboxed and set up the Nebula 230 from FuriBee. Now it's time for the flight test. If you enjoy this video, click that subscribe button to help this channel grow. It's just so depressing because it's such a great place to fly. But the weather is so intermittent at the moment, but at least it's not snowing today. So, yeah, another rainy day, but at least it's not snowing. My hands are freezing, but we've got the Nebula 230 here for its flight test. So, quite a, I must say, the look of this quad is actually growing on me. The rain might be a problem today, especially with this horrible tiny little lens that's on this. And I think if you are going to buy the Nebula 230, probably the first thing you should do actually is change the lens on it to something with a much better FOV, because this looks really narrow. But this is the line of sight test, so let's see how it goes. Arm it, up we go. Oh, this feels very light. I am surprised because this is not a light quad, but that feels very pokey actually. This is only a 4S battery, but that is feeling really nippy. I'm shocked. I haven't held much hope for this. Everybody's told me it's crap. So let's take it on a bit of a fly around. I mean, it feels very agile. I love the size of it. I think 230 is a really good scale actually, really good class size. It's quick. This is, as I say, only a 4S. I'm not sure what it's capable of, but it's very light on the throttle. Very, very light. It feels good. It's quick. I'm shocked. Now it is really cold, so I don't want to spend too long on the line of sight test. In fact, I don't want to spend too long outside actually, because it is absolutely freezing. But let's just see what this does in terms of acro. Very nice. So the stock rates are all very relaxed. That's as fast as you're going to get it to flip with the stock, which is very, very subdued. But you know, it's all adjustable. Oh, the rain's really coming down now. This goes really well. I am actually really genuinely quite surprised. I didn't expect that at all. Okay, let's get the punch, the best bit. So, bring it up towards us, and punch time. 3, 2, 1. I mean, it's good. It's not super powerful. It's definitely not a Coppice one. It's definitely not a Dart Max. But it's pokey, you know. It's got plenty of power. Okay, let's do that again. 3, 2, 1. It's certainly got enough. You wouldn't be unimpressed. I love the size of this, especially for line of sight. You know, you can't miss it. Oh, shit. So yeah, a very lightweight feeling quad, which flies really, really nicely. Indeed. Oh, shit. That'll be a tree. Flies really, really well. Really quick. Right, let's bring it in for the FPV flight test, because I am freezing. It is super cold. Right, FPV flight test time. So FPV time for the Nebula 230. We talked about this camera lens, which wasn't that great. Now, that's a very narrow field of view. I mean, that's literally a security camera field of view. You know, you don't really have a great peripheral view with this lens. So as I said, I would change the lens on it. But the camera doesn't seem so bad. It is CMOS though. So again, we're going to get that kind of frustration when we move between lightness and darkness of the ground and the sky. But let's see how it flies FPV. And also let's see how that little dipole antenna on the back holds up. So this will be quite an interesting one, I think. Full acro mode. We don't have much of an OSD there, but anyway, here we go. And we're up. So immediately you can feel the limitations of that lens. That is really, really narrow field of view. Also the rain is coming down, which doesn't help. But this is like flying FPV with a regular lens that's been zoomed in. It's hard work, but tell you what, it does fly well, this. Surprisingly well. Feels like the props are a little bit unbalanced and could do a bit of a tune. But when you give it full poke, it goes really nicely. In terms of the tuning of it, feels fairly good as well. It's nice and easy to fly, but the camera lens is just absolutely awful. As I say, it's like flying with a zoomed in regular lens, which makes it very, very hard for penetrating any sort of gaps. And also you've got to be very, very much aware of your surroundings to make sure you don't hit anything. Because you just can't see to the sides. Now the wind's coming in. I think the size of this quad's really helping it to penetrate that with ease. And it does fly very, very well. As I said, I've not read a single good thing about the Nebula. And I'm struggling to understand, besides the lens, I'm struggling to understand why, because it does go really well. And this tune, it feels very, very smooth. In terms of performance of it, it screams. Yeah, it really does scream, and I'm having good fun flying this, but I can imagine watching this back is probably pretty grotty through this lens. Little bit of prop wash there as I descended, so perhaps the PIDs could do with a little bit of a tune there, but I think this goes really well actually, I really do. And a punch. There's some odd behaviour there when you dip the throttle and hit air mode. It just behaves a little bit oddly there, I think. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with this. I think I must say I do like the size of this. 230 I reckon is a really good size. Not getting any battery warnings yet. Seems to be holding out pretty well. And that dipole antenna is doing absolutely brilliantly. Now I think I've just adjusted my camera angle via the tree. So thanks tree, you helped me there. We can now see the props in view. We're flying with more of a neutral camera angle now. It's those bloody branches of death that you just can't see at this time of year. So you can see at that kind of range away from us, the dipole antenna is starting to struggle a bit. But for a tiny little dipole antenna, I think that's pretty good. I am freezing, my hands are numb. So at this point, I'm going to bring it in and land and conclude that the Nebula 230 is not as bad as everybody has been saying. It ships with some issues that you need to fix before you can really fly this thing properly. But besides the lens and besides the setup issues, it is a bit on the expensive side perhaps, but it's not a bad quad at all. So if you want to have a look, see more of it, links are in the video description. And give us a comment below with your thoughts. If you're not already a subscriber, subscribe to the channel immediately. And thank you very much for watching. Here's some positives and negatives on the screen for you.